So today, we're going to dive into a powerful, almost brutal psychological law that really governs success and failure. It's this invisible force that can either shoot you to incredible heights or keep you stuck right where you are forever. Let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? We have all been there. That huge, heavy resistance you feel when you're just starting out on a new project and your workout plan, whatever it is. Well, it turns out it's not just in your head. The material we're looking at today makes it really clear. This is a fundamental law of how things work, and if you can understand it, you can use it.
And that, right there, is the core idea we're going to unpack. See, we all think progress should be this nice, steady, straight line. But that's not how it works. Real, lasting success, it grows exponentially. It starts so slowly with these tiny little actions, but then it starts to compound faster and faster until the results are just, wow, absolutely transformative.
Okay, so let's start by breaking down that initial struggle. This is the uphill battle. It's the part everyone faces when they begin something new, and honestly, it's where most people just give up. I think this is a huge mindset shift. The reason it's so hard to start isn't because you're flawed or you don't have enough talent. It's like you're fighting this external force, this gravity that's always trying to pull you back down to doing nothing, to staying the same. Your one job is to fight that gravity.
And look, this is where the fight begins, with steps that can feel, well, kind of painfully small. You have to give yourself permission to be a total beginner. Yeah, it might feel embarrassing to only study for 20 minutes, or to be the person lifting the absolute lightest weights in the gym. But nobody, and I mean nobody, starts out as an expert. Feeling a little small at the start? That's just part of the process.
And this just nails the point, doesn't it? Every single person you admire, every expert, was once a complete amateur. They had to start at the very bottom, admit they didn't know what they were doing, and take that first awkward step. That's not a failure. That's the price of admission to get to the top.
So now that we understand that initial struggle, let's get into the central rule that governs this whole dynamic. This is the physics of success.
This is called the Matthew Principle, and it is the heart of this brutal law. Now, on the surface, it sounds totally unfair, right? But what it really means is that momentum creates a feedback loop. Think about it. You go to the gym. You see a tiny bit of progress. That makes you feel more motivated to go back, right? So you go back, you make more progress, which boosts your confidence, which makes you want to work even harder. Success starts to build on itself geometrically.
But, and this is so important, this law is completely neutral. It's a double-edged sword. It works both ways. Just as those small wins build on each other, so do the excuses in the inaction. You make one small excuse and, hey, the next one gets a little easier. A little bit of laziness compounds into this deep-seated inertia. You are either on the uphill climb or you're on the downhill slide. There is no standing still.
And we're not being dramatic here. The stakes could not be higher. This downhill path isn't some gentle little slope. It's a cliff. It's a rapid descent into a place of total regret and wondering, what if? So avoiding this path, that isn't a passive thing. It's an active choice you have to make every single day.
Okay, so that's the scary part. But the good news is, there's a playbook for this. We understand the problem, we get the principle behind it. Now for the most important part, how do we actually do this? How do we build that positive, uphill momentum?
It really breaks down into 4 key steps. First, like we said, you got to embrace being a beginner. Second, you have to be relentlessly persistent. Third, and this is the big one, you have to act now. Don't wait. And fourth, for those who are ready to really accelerate, you enter a phase where you literally go to war with your old self.
I absolutely love this analogy for persistence. A river doesn't carve a canyon with one massive, powerful burst, right? No way. It wins through constant, steady, relentless pressure over a long time. It's about showing up, consistently, especially on the days you don't feel like it. That is how you carve out a new reality for yourself.
This one, oh man, this is the trap we all fall into. It's the big lie we tell ourselves that one day we'll just wake up and feel perfectly ready, perfectly motivated. You know what? That day is never coming. The feeling of being ready doesn't come before the action. The action creates the feeling of being ready. You just have to start.
All right, step 4. Now this one is for those of you who are ready to hit the accelerator hard. It's called the lonely chapter. This is a conscious, deliberate decision to eliminate all distractions. I'm talking saying no to social events, turning off your phone, and focusing with an insane intensity on your craft. It's about forging a completely new identity by shedding the habits and routines of your old self. It's brutal, for sure, but it is how you leapfrog years of slow, incremental progress.
So we've gone through the problem, the principle, and the solution, but none of it matters without this next part. This is about turning all this knowledge into action, right here, right now.
Let's just pause and think about that for a second. The future. It's not some abstract thing that just happens to you. It's a blank page. And the choices you make today, the tiny, almost invisible actions you take, that's the ink you're using to write your story. You are holding the pen. You have all the power here.
And that brings us to the final and most crucial question. Let's bring this all the way down to earth. Forget about the grand plan for a second. What is the one tiny, maybe even embarrassingly small thing you can do today? Can you study for just 15 minutes? Do 5 push-ups? Write one single sentence? That small step, that is where the geometric explosion begins. Your future self is counting on you.